Luke. Betray your customers, you must. Insult audience, yes. This is the way of the woke.
Around? You found out. You did.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Benny. So there are multiple ways to make history. You can make history in a good way, like winning the national championship, or you can make history in a bad way, like being the world's most murderous authoritarian dictator. Both are making history. It's just you really don't want to be in one column, the bad history making. But that is precisely what is happening with Disney Star Wars and has been happening with Disney Star Wars for the better part of the last 2 decades. The Force is female, is what Kathleen Kennedy promised she would do. She promised she'd make history with Star Wars by making it a female brand, turning a boy brand into a girl brand. And, ladies and gentlemen, mission accomplished. Okay, so let's go through some of the recent history-making moments for Disney Star Wars. This used to be, the Star Wars Holiday Special, used to be the worst rated, with 10,000 plus ratings, audience score Star Wars episode of all time. This was the worst. Nothing even came close, actually, to matching this 21%, only 21%, from the loyal and loving Star Wars audience. Except, now history has been made. With The Acolyte and the release of episode 3, now Disney has the newest, lowest rated Star Wars product in history. Here we go. 15% here from the audience score, a much deserved 15%. You are making history, baby. Now, ladies and gentlemen, people would prefer this.
We can have a good time.
Wookiee porn.
Can't we? Oh, we are excited, aren't we? I'll tell you a secret. I find you adorable. I find you adorable. I find you adorable. Oh, yes.
So people actually would prefer to watch that than to watch this.
Power of one, the power of two, the power of many. The power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
This is actually the best explanation I've heard of what the hell that actually means, that lore-shattering garbage with a bunch of witches totally remaking the Force and reverse engineering the Sith and the Jedi and all this. The power of one, the power of the two. The power. Chris Gore, you absolute savage, you. Okay, so this is so this is maybe this is what they meant all along. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's history in the making. It's also the most ratioed trailer of all time in the Disney Star Wars universe. Here you can see the ratio of nearly 10-1 likes to dislikes for The Acolyte. So the most ratioed live-action Star Wars ever, and the next trailer, every single trailer actually, lives sort of along this delta of being ratioed 2 and 3 and 4 times the like to dislike ratio here. The Star Wars Acolyte, history in the making.
I want to ask you both because this is, I would say, arguably the gayest Star Wars, I think, by a considerable margin. And are you excited about that? Are you
Not the
bracing
gayest
yourself?
Star Wars. Not the.
It's pretty gay, let's be honest.
I'll just remind you that the fans preferred this to the gayest
We can
Star
have a good
Wars.
time. Can't we? Oh.
Yes, and they were celebrating. They were celebrating it while they conceived children without men, while they completely and totally desecrate Star Wars lore, Star Wars keeps tweeting through the tears and sadness. The official Star Wars account continues to hype and promote this, the most unpopular series in the history of Star Wars. And the comments, it's almost as good as Willow. The comments do not disappoint. The power of two. Stream the new episode. You gotta respect it. You gotta respect the fact that Disney. You gotta respect the fact that Disney continues to promote this. And they continue to actually push this. Except that you completely turned the show in the entire Star Wars franchise into a dumpster fire. It really is the worst. The power of cringe. Disney's woke addiction destroyed the whole franchise. The power of destroying a franchise. One cringe, two cringe, many cringe, too many to count. The power of one, the power of two, the power of money. The power of money. Waiting for them to turn off the comments. That's right. But they haven't. They haven't. Look at this ratio. So this is probably a historic ratio, right? Yeah, 2.5 thousand comments. None of them positive. Yeah. So Star Wars just breaking barriers. And no, what do you do when you are creatively bankrupt? When you are a commercial disaster? When nobody can make any money off your brand anymore, and when you've isolated all of your fans? Well, ladies and gentlemen, you attack the fans. You attack the fans for being toxic, like Kathleen Kennedy has done. So instead of making a better product, she says that Star Wars struggle with fan attacks because the fan base is being so male-dominated. And the best part about this is, if you keep attacking the fans, there'll be no fans left. And so then you'll be done with toxic fandom. It's just a fantastic idea. And that's, again, maybe the strategy here. Maybe the strategy. Here we go, from Critical Drinker. If Star Wars fans are the problem, then the Acolyte is definitely a solution. Star Wars toxic fans keep proving they're the franchise's biggest problem. Yeah. I think Critical Drinker says it. You'll just have no fans, and then you won't have a problem with toxic fans. You'll have no fans. Now, it does seem as though Disney has gone to the corporate press and the corporate media and their stenographers in those corrupted organizations, many of which Disney owns. Remember, Disney is the largest media company in the world. They own Fox, they own ABC, all these other different media entities, all these publications. They own ESPN, for instance, just a short list here. So Disney has enormous power, obviously, and influence to get stories written. And Nerdrotic is pointing out that Looper, which is a joke of a publication, but they are actually attacking Critical Drinker and himself for encouraging hatred and bigotry with his reviews of a poorly written streaming show. The only ones I see doing that are Lucasfilm. So let's go ahead and check the record here. Nerdrotic's Acolyte Episode 3 review has 1 million views in 4 days. And Drinker's Acolyte Episode 3 review has 2.6 million views in 4 days. Critical Drinker has 2.05 million subs. So he's get more views than he actually has subs, which is really quite an accomplishment. So, what are they doing here? They're going after their biggest critics in order to try and silence them. Apparently they deleted this, but here, watch for yourself.
Some audience members have issues with the show's diversity and LGBTQ+ themes, and those should be dismissed. However, viewers should genuinely examine the legitimate criticisms The Acolyte has received. Cultural critics like the Critical Drinker and Nerdrotic have dubbed the show lore-breaking for its recent revelations, but their commentary isn't productive. Rather, it encourages bigotry and hatred over a show that's just getting started. As always, rage bait and review bombings distract from actual criticism.
It's never actually the fault of the destroyers of brands who come in and create garbage products that we all hate. It's always the fans' fault. And that equation solves for itself. If you keep creating garbage that isolates and breaks away fans every single time you continue to push a piece of sludge through the content pipeline, then you will have no more fans left. So maybe that's the point here. And that would be a good thing. for the Star Wars franchise. What's left of it? Because it'd be far easier to watch these people rule over a pile of ash that nobody cares about. You know what other equation solves itself is when your franchise makes no more money, that means you all lose your jobs. And I think everybody is really, really excited about that one. So, well done. Well done. History has been made, just not the good kind.